up second Cousins. Woo! The Magic led by 17 and lose in the fourth quarter, 89-88. We lost the way we lost this game, Pich, on a 3-point attempt.
If you're a Game Flow fan on the Orlando Magic app, free plug, which I am, I like to see.
Yep.
This is like the reverse Game Flow of the last game against the Heat. Like, lose the lead in the fourth and just let it go and goes away. The Heat shooters came through in the fourth quarter. They were hitting. We weren't. That's really the story of this game. Magic were playing great defense.
Absolutely. I mean, you held them to 89 points. If you hold an NBA team under 100, you figure you should win that game.
Yep.
Under 90, certainly.
We just didn't get enough scoring punch from enough other places today. There was really not a lot of scoring coming off the bench. And it, hurt. It wasn't there tonight. Cole Anthony was cold off the bench. The bench unit just was a disaster. I couldn't wait for them to get out of the game.
Yeah.
I think it is 100% confirmed. We can go into this deeper when we do a podcast later this week. John Isaac and Wendell Carter Jr. are not the men we hoped they would be, who could be a starter in the NBA, a really solid starter in the NBA. And they're just not those guys. They're on the bench. They both come out together. Neither one of them really want to do big man shit. It's aggravating. They'll play some defense inside and try to block some shots, but
good D
they're not interested in dunking low and being big, like Goga stuff, right? Like, there's a big difference. I've talked about big man shit a lot during the course of our podcast. What Goga's doing is what I've been talking about us needing since we started this program. And so it's nice to see him rise to come up there. And from, if you're haven't been following the Magic or even the Pacers where he was before, most people don't know who he is or what he's about. I think he's most well known for that Zion Williamson picture where he's just sitting there and everyone's talking to Zion, but who's laughing now? Because I'm pretty sure he has more maybe points.
He's got more minutes played, that's for sure.
Okay, well, hey.
Maybe more points. Who the hell knows?
That's why you got to interview everybody out there.
Media 101. 14 boards for Goga Bitadze, 10 points. I mean, this is tough. You cannot win an NBA game 17.2% from three. 5 of 29, especially when the Heat shot 50%, Pich. 15 of 30 from beyond the arc. There are a lot of things that on the surface I look at and I say, ooh, I like this. Win the paint. 44-24. Outscore the other team by 20 points in the paint. You win the boards, 42-35, 7-point swing right there. You got to be scoring some points off some of those.
And it's weird to think that all that stuff happens while Bam Adebayo, who's on the U.S. national team and is supposed to be a good inside player, is there, and we're running with kind of backups and stuff.
Yeah, so 4 points for Bam.
They can still find a way to get that kind of thing. Yeah, he's a very overrated big man, if you ask me. I mean, he's solid on D, but
defensively so switchable. A guy that Mosley probably loves for that, but he hasn't ascended with the offensive game in probably the way that most people thought. Although we can defend those types of guys. Our team, we do have big bodies that are athletic to throw at him, and we make our money on the defense, but. Yeah, I think something that was emblematic of this game for me, Pich, was the assist number. And I don't normally look to the assist number, but we lost that one 14-20. And I just feel like, hey, Jalen Suggs, sir, you got the heart of a lion out there, 29 points, fantastic. But what we're really missing is the guy who's moving the ball, the guy who's setting people up. And Jalen Suggs is going to be an awesome scorer in this league. And I think the thing that he needs to add more is some of that playmaking. Hey, let's look for other guys. Because, Pich, the game started so amazingly. I'm looking at the box score right here. Trevelyan Queen, cutting dunk from Goga Bitadze. Tristan Da Silva, layup to the hoop.
Yep.
Contavious Caldwell-Pope.
We had the first 14 points of the game or something?
First 14 points. Just everything. We're getting things going to the hoop. Then shots are opening up. The assists were flowing in the first, and then it just became kind of hero ball. Excuse the pun, motherfucker.
Nice. Well done.
Asshole. And that was Jalen Suggs. When they threw the zone at us, you got to give them credit that the Heat came out with that zone, and that really frustrated our team. And Pich, that's going to be the the way that you beat our team, right?
Sure.
It's out. That's the blueprint.
Let them try to shoot. Right. I can't.
Force us into be 3-point shooters. And in my opinion, we were much too obliging on that matter. We have to force ourselves into the paint. Our game is not shooting threes, especially on a night when we're shooting 17% from them.
5 of 30.
Yeah.
That's not good. The other, like I mentioned, our bench didn't deliver tonight, 12 points. Their bench, 41 points.
Oof.
I feel like that really is the big kicker in this game. Alec Burks playing like prime Jordan for moments in this game. And also Terry Rozier played well off their bench, moving the ball and finding ways to get guys open. Their offense looked a lot better in that fourth quarter than ours, where we just looked a little lost and who gets the ball and what do we do now? And it's just weird. They kind of got off that track that we were on earlier in the game, where guys were getting open, cuts were happening, and things were good, and people felt confident. And at the end of the game, it sort of felt like the only guy willing to really like shoot up a shot was Suggs, and he wasn't feeling it tonight. Despite having a gaudy number in the points column, he even missed a free throw down the stretch. He just didn't seem to have enough to finish. It looked like a guy that was carrying too much load to me.
Yep.
No offense to him, because he's going to try to carry that load anyway, but he needed that secondary star tonight to help him down the stretch. And, KCP stepped up and did a few things. He hit 3 late, but really needed that other guy that we could go to as a second option.
Yeah.
You take a shot this time because I'm not doing things, or we didn't love Jalen's play from tonight he was looking for foul calls a lot. And
it was
definitely scrappy, but I felt like he was a little bit complaining because he's the only one out there. Like, I feel like he was really taking that I'm the face of this team right now kind of vibe, which I don't think you really need to take. This is a team of, right now, guys that are bond together because they know this ain't the real team, so they're kind of bonding over that, and it was working and gelling well. And then at the end, when he was trying to play hero ball, he didn't succeed because his last name's not Hero. And, credit to Hero, he made some big shots in the game.
He did.
The final shot he made, fantastic. Got him some space, cleared out. Queen's defense was good on it. It just wasn't enough, man. I mean, it's a game the Magic could have taken, but again, this is during a time frame when I think we're kind of feeling like if we can just stay about 500 in these games when Franz and Paulo are out, and stay around where we need to be. We're still in 4th in the Eastern Conference.
Absolutely.
No need to set up a panic flag or anything like that.
Hopefully Paulo's back soon.
But I expected the Heat to come out with a little more punch, to be honest.
Yeah,
because
they came out flat.
The way the last game ended.
They came out flat. And then give them credit. They started to defend. That zone worked for them. I just want to touch on your point about Jalen Suggs trying to take on that mantle of the squad. We do need guys to score points because we're out 75 points a game or 80 points a game with the 3 guys we have down. But I think more so, back to the assist thing I'm bringing up, is we have a deficit of points, but a deficit of playmaking with Paulo and Franz down in particular, because they make everything move. And that's why I really like Corey Joseph. I like the coach giving Corey Joseph some extended minutes because he was the only guy, it seemed like, who knew how to break this zone. He's like, all right, I'm going to do a little dribble handoff. I'm going to get into my, right at the elbow jumper. I've hit this 1,000 times in my life. We got this. And I liked how he steadied the ship, especially when Cole wasn't playing so hot tonight. I think, Coach, maybe we can be a little bit more reading on Cole. Is it a Cole night? Is it on? Is it off? We might be looking at Cole Anthony a la like a Terrence Ross. Like some nights he's going to have it and some nights he's not. But this team is way deeper than the teams that Terrence Ross played on for. So he doesn't need to play every single night if when he gets out there, he's not hitting it. But I think that Jalen was trying to be the scorer too much, Pich.
Yeah.
And I think he needs to be the facilitator more because back to that 14-0 run to start, when people are passing and everyone's touching the rock, Kenny can step up and hit some threes. He showed that tonight. Like TDS, Tristan da Silva, Trevelyan Queen, another really great performance from him, from a guy you don't expect really anything of, end of bench guy coming in big. There were guys that could have gotten it. Just felt like it was a little forced.
Yeah, I didn't. Cole, the strength of his game the other night against the Heat was he was finding ways to get inside and score. He only had 2 3-pointers in that 35-point game, which is outstanding. And he didn't seem to want to do that same thing. And I was just like, well, why don't you're good at breaking down the defense and getting inside, do that and get some other guys open. Instead, he was looking for his shot a little bit too much, I think, trying to get that 35-point vibe back again. And it was like, we don't really need that tonight, And so it's like, we all want that, right, to get back to that point. But it wasn't really what the game needed from him tonight in his minutes. And I could tell even when he checked out there for the last time, he was frustrated with the way his play had gone down because he thought he was on an uptick. And instead it just ended up being like, well, hopefully it's just a speed bump. He slows down a little for it and then gets back to being good. But we know he's capable of doing better. And I just would have liked to seen him go into that, getting into the paint and either getting easy layups for himself or having that open somebody else up for a shot. And he just didn't do that in his minutes in, which was interesting. But yeah, Corey Joseph came in to your point. And
all right, thanks.
Did the right things. And it was almost like, 7 minutes of Corey Joseph, 5 points. Maybe I would have liked a little more Corey Joseph in there down the stretch. Maybe just handling the ball. He seems like a very confident, that's
absolutely.
why you bring him in. There was questions about, what are we going to do with him? What's he going to do? This. Yeah. That's exactly what he's going to do. He carries the ball up. He's confident. He's a good ball handler. He's a good passer. That's all you need, right? And then he knocked down a couple open shots. That's what you need with a deep bench guy. Mm-hmm. And he filled that void. I mean, it's a winnable game, but it got away. Got away, but that's okay. I feel like this team's going to learn a little bit something from that.
Well, you get to shake it off. I mean, you got the Knicks tomorrow, so you can't feel too bad for yourself.
That's very helpful probably for this team.
They're going to have to step up. That's a tough Knicks team. Just a little, we were talking about Alec Burks turning into Superman. 319 points he scored in 25 games against the Orlando Magic.
Yeah, I mean, this guy would be at least 3 or 4 time NBA All-Star if he played all his games against the Orlando Magic. Probably first ballot Hall of Famer.
He's dropped 22, 21 on us, 32 with the Pistons. I think we all remember that.
He spent all that time with Utah. If he would have just been in the Eastern Conference, this guy could have been in an All-Star game at least, right? It would have changed his pay grade a little bit.
Just
saying.
If you've been enjoying this, having you in Second Cousins for this reaction, like and subscribe. Maybe you noticed you didn't see any advertisement when you open YouTube. That is on purpose. We are monetized, but we're just sick of the ads.
Yep.
Unless you really need a bearskin sweatshirt and you don't want to feel like a child anymore.
Or whether you really want to feel bad this Christmas. And St. Jude shows you some sick kids that you can donate for. And you should donate.
Yeah.
If you can.
To us.
But, No, I just don't like, the ads, they try to target what they think you need. And it's like, hey, I already have 1-800 contacts. I'm capable of ordering contacts when I need them. I don't need a reminder every other commercial, every other show I'm watching that like, hey, 1-800 contacts things. I got you. I know. We're good.
Yeah. So that's on purpose. Like and subscribe, share it around.
Wouldn't you rather hear us talk about commercials than watch them?
Yeah, we just did a commercial block, but that's okay.
God, I've always wanted to start a podcast called Commercial Break where we break down commercials because I love commercials.
Okay.
They jazz me up, and I love talking about them because they're usually dumb. Sometimes they're fun. I mean, I'm just saying.
That's great content. If any Second Cousins want to get in this new project with Pich.
Yeah.
What's it called? I love this.
Commercial Breakdown.
Beautiful, because commercial break, and then you threw the
man, I already thought about it. That's a long-term idea.
I do. Okay, let's get back to the Magic game. There was an Orlando Magic game. Before we go, Pish, I do want to give some love to Tristan da Silva.
Yeah.
Because 18 points, 6 boards, 2 assists, a steal. This guy is playing really well in a larger role. This is kind of the silver lining part of the year when our stars are down. Lining. Nice.
Well done.
You are good. You are good.
Lining. Yeah, we're out there. We're watching him, and we said it several times. We'll say it here because sometimes we're just like, man, he's doing Franz stuff.
Yeah, if you squint.
If you squint. If you're colorblind watching the tube, you'd be like, there he is. There's Franz.
Yeah.
They're one number off. They both have German origin. They both have the same game. They love getting to the rim, doing the little things. Mm-hmm. Pick and roll game strong.
Yeah.
It's a good thing to have.
Yeah, this front office does a good job drafting these guys, man.
Yeah.
He's a Swiss Army knife. If he can add that off the dribble playmaking that Franz has, holy shit, what a deep 3-4 we have for years to come here.
Yeah, they don't seem to be able to pick a good center. And they don't seem interested in point guards, but man, can they pick wings?
And that's important in this league. So we are spoiled in that respect. In his last 5, Tristan da Silva, 18 tonight, 18 against the Celtics, then 8, back to earth, 15 against OKC, 20 against the Knicks.
Mm-hmm.
And this is efficient stuff. He's not like chucking things. He's shooting above 50% from the floor on a lot of these.
Yeah.
58% tonight, sorry.
One of the things I think we'll talk about at our next podcast that we're going to do later this week while I'm in town is we're going to talk about how is this roster going to shake down when people come back.
Yeah.
Because we're seeing a lot of good things from guys who sometimes didn't play, right?
Yeah.
Now, does that change who doesn't get minutes, who does? There's a lot of question marks there, but it is nice to know that our bench is figuring itself out during a time span when, we're just hanging out, middle of the season, figuring out who those pieces are. Because I think one of the only criticisms I would have of Coach Mosley is his rotation sometimes. He struggles when there's an injury, and I think a lot of coaches do, so it's not really a knock on him. They struggle on, who goes where? What do I do? His thing usually with a starting lineup guy is I'm going to put in a bench guy and let that bench unit stay together. It's been hard to do with all the people in and out of the lineup lately. So it'll be interesting to see when everyone's healthy, like what we do with, Moritz is not going to be back this year, but aside from him, like more, Franz and Paulo are back. Even Gary Harris is back. Who gets minutes? What happens to Da Silva's minutes?
Yeah.
I'm hoping Goga continues to play. Is Jet back in the G? What are we talking about? It'd be an interesting thing to break.
That's a great tease. Great tease for the next episode. If you haven't already, go check out the long form podcast. It's been good hanging out with you, second cousins. Let us know how you're feeling about this game, about any of those questions that Pich is bringing up, and anything else you want to see on the show.
Knicks wrap up coming tomorrow.
Here we go. Check it out. Oh, I thought that was a joke because we're not a Knicks thing, but yeah, we're playing the Knicks tomorrow.
Yeah.
Peace out, everybody.
Thanks for coming.